Hello everyone. Today we'll be making a fish woven craft, okay? First you'll need one Elmer's glue stick, or you can use tape, whatever you prefer. Scissors, a fish design, you can either draw one, it doesn't really matter as long as you got a fish. A ruler, and this is optional if you don't want to use some scissors, you can use this slicer to get perfect cuts. We'll first start out with the fish. We're gonna make the designs by cutting the fish, by folding it in half and cutting it little by little each time. So we will start out cutting it kind of like long ways, fold it in half. So you gotta watch out, make sure you're good. You can, even if you don't get your fold right, it's okay. You can move on a little further if you'd like, if you want like a bigger imprint. And it doesn't matter how long you cut these. You can cut them really big if you want to, or really small. Just make sure you don't get the fin if you want a fish that has a fin. And you'll just cut little by little each side, so you'll have like a little flapper. And you'll keep doing that as long as how many ever ones you want. I usually just cut how many ever I want, get the woven design really good. So I'm going to finish up cutting this. Don't matter how long, just make sure you don't cut nothing off. Then we will fold it back and you'll have this design. Then you will take your ruler, and it don't matter what color your fish is. You can make whatever color. Mine's blue. You can have purple or pink or orange. It really doesn't really matter. The colors are endless. So you will measure out. I usually measure out the pieces to fit into the fish, a quarter of an inch. So you'll find a quarter, which would be right here, and you'll mark it from the spot that is not there. So quarter of an inch, and you'll keep marking as many, because it depends on how much how big your fish is on the many stripes. And like I said, you can cut these out in a straight line. You can make them in lines if you want to. If you want to guide yourself to have a straight line, like that. Or you can use a slicer if you'd like. I prefer a slicer myself, but whatever you have on hand works. And you'll just slice like that. And see, you'll have whatever color. And you just do that all over until you get your fish done. Now, I've already got mine cut out. I've got purple and green. I will take the purple one and go under, then over, under again, over, under again, then over. And I put it as the corner, and it should look something like this. Then you'll take your next color, whatever color you choose. It can be different colors, or you can have the same color. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go under, over, under, over. And it's a little tricky there, but we'll get it. Over again, just like that. And you'll repeat until you get to the end. So we'll keep going. And like I said, any color you'd like, and they do kind of bunch up at there when you start putting more in, but that's okay because you can align them. You just keep doing the same process, under, and over, slide it on up, and see to line yourself till you know how much space you've got left. You can, either way, you can space them out however much you want. It doesn't really matter. You can space them overlapping. It doesn't really matter, honestly. See, looks like I can fit at least 2 more in. So, get a green one this time. And I'll go under, over, under, over, under, up again. See, this one's kind of overlapping a little bit. That's okay. Just move them to the side. It doesn't really matter. And I'll go ahead and put the eyeball on there for a preference so you don't cut into it. And that looks like all my fish can hold. So I line them up really good. Then I'll flip it over. And it might come like that, but it don't matter. Make sure they're even like you want it, you know. You can use any type of paper you want. I think I'm going to use tape to hold them in. So I'm just going to tape it long ways. Make sure they're even again, so you don't have like a gap if you don't want a gap in the middle. I mean, you can kind of tell. Voila. Just put another piece of tape. This one might be too long, but that's okay. We can cut it down if needed. Oh yeah. One more. Okay. It looks pretty good so far. Now, we will cut this. You can kind of cut it, and you go in and you cut it like that. And you won't be able to see it much when you get it really cut down, you know. You get it tucked in really good and see this flapper come up. So I keep cutting again. So see, I almost got it cut in. Just, you can even bend it back a little bit if you want to get that precise cut if you don't want it hanging over. What type of paper I'm using like a cardstock. It's like got 2 different colors on each side, so it don't really matter what kind of paper you use, honestly. As long as you got some good paper or colored paper, it should look fine. Even on white paper, it looks good. Just have some multicolors, and you'll get that design. And after you can put all kinds of designs on it. You can use your glue stick. I've already put the eyeball in. You can cut up different shapes and glue different shapes. I've got some triangles I can put on here. Stuff, kid stuff that you can do. I've also got some fin, well, like a fin design that I can put on his tail.